Alright, Shalom. First, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Double honors to the apostles and elders, great millstone, the real world that taught us his truth. And blessings to the elect, to nation Israel, wherever they be scattered. This is Brother Yakal coming with another lesson. And Lord willing, it'll be edifying to you brothers and sisters. And this is particularly for you women, man. Just come across some information, and the channel on here is called Shattered Paradise. And I'll say this, they don't do videos regularly, but when they do, and when I say regularly, like we do videos every week, minimum 3 videos every week. Lord willing, 6 to 8 videos sometimes a week, But these guys, it's a man and a woman. They know that they're Israelites, but they haven't got that oil, man. They haven't got the name, but they bring out some very good information. And the information that you're going to see is the manipulation of women, because who's the weaker vessel? The woman, man. All right, the woman. Okay, and we're gonna start with a scripture on that. Because the woman is easy to be manipulated, and because she's the weaker vessel, and the woman was the one that more or less, pushed Adam to go off. It was the woman, man. All right. So the woman is the weaker vessel. The woman is deprived of wisdom, right? And we're gonna get those things, So if you're a woman and you're in this truth and you're taking this seriously, you're really blessed, because I'm going to show you right now that these women are full of demons, man. Now, this is Ecclesiasticus, which is called Sirach in the Apocrypha, 25, verse 24. Of the woman became the beginning of sin. And what woman is talking about that? It's talking about Eve, all right? She was beguiled by the serpent, and the serpent was a man, man. A man that had melanin back then. But the spirit, or I'll say the demon, that was in that man, that serpent, that convinced Eve to go off, and then she convinced Adam to go off, was the same demon that is in the so-called white man today. That's why you Israelite women going out with white men is your downfall, man. You might think, yeah, you're doing well in this world because you got a white man, he's got money, but you're more or less signing your death warrant. All right. So if the woman came the beginning of sin, and through her we all die. All right. Through her we all die. And if you look in the ghetto, whether it be here, all right, or America, or anywhere our people are, even in West Africa, a lot of you niggers are dying because over women. You're killing, each other over women. It's madness. You're doing wickedness over women. Okay? And the Lord is not going to stand for it much longer, man. All right? He's not going to stand for it much longer. And let's just say, it doesn't matter if you're a woman in this truth. All right? And look, this might hurt the average woman, but this is a tester, all right, to see that you're really in this truth, all right? A woman hasn't got no wisdom. Even if you're a woman in this truth, you ain't got no wisdom, all right? You ain't got no wisdom whatsoever, man. The Lord is not giving you that, man, all right? But, that's why it's good to try and get a man of the Lord. Or if you're single, do the best you can, learn this truth and do the best you can. The Lord knows your efforts, all right? But women that get hurt by what the scriptures say, that's a bad sign, all right? And I'm going to give you the scripture that hurts the majority of these women, all right? Job 39 and 17. And I'm going to give you examples of that this woman, the average ones you want, especially our women, you got no wisdom whatsoever, man. Job 39 and 17. Because the Most High have deprived her of wisdom, neither have he imparted to her understanding. Alright? No wisdom, no understanding. But look what it says in the 18th verse. Alright? And this is what you're going to see in this video. Alright? And who's doing the lifting up of the woman? The so-called white man. Because the so-called white man is a natural born faggot. You know? He likes little boys. Alright? Job 39:18. What time she lifted up herself on high. See? She scorneth the horse and his rider. Alright? So she's lifted up on high. And in this society, she is lifted up on high. Now I'm going to show you good examples of this. And this is some of the... this is something that I'm glad I came across. I really am. Alright? And they've done a fantastic job because, you know what, the Lord, man's goings is what? Of the Lord. Proverbs 20:24. Alright? The guy that made this with his woman that does the shattered paradise, they go deep into how Esau's witchcraft. Alright? Which Esau's witchcraft is in the scriptures. And that's all left-hand side stuff. But let's click on this. Alright, it's called Shattered Paradise. You can see their channel. Okay. And this is the... And unfortunately, you're going to see how a lot of our sellout people are involved in this witchcraft.
You see this? You gotta see this. Check your phone. Don't you know? Crazy. Wow. This is crazy. You haven't heard? Oh. Is this true? No cap. You gotta see this. I don't know what to believe. Girl, don't you know? What's going on? You haven't heard? Wake up. You gotta see this. You haven't heard? Man, did y'all see the new Economist cover? No. Check it out. The way it's looking, 2025 is going to be like riding the world's most dangerous roller coaster after the maintenance crew been on strike for years. I'm saying, y'all better buckle up. Guess who up?
And that's true, man. Alright? That's why Trump is moving fast. Alright? Because he's trying to push the agenda of the elites. If he doesn't do what the elites tell him to do, they'll put him to death and get someone else to do it. Okay? So that's a true statement that this year, right now in the UK, they've announced that they want to chop people's disability benefits. You know? Alright? And they said they want to make 5 billion or up to 6 billion amounts of savings. You know? But they use the word 6 million. Alright? That shows you that it's from the top. That's why if you're a politician or an MP or, in America they call you what? Republicans or Democrats. They're all lesser luminaries. They're all Masons. They're all juiced in, man. Alright? They might do things, some good things for their local communities. But if they're a senator, I guarantee you they're Masons, man. Alright?
Who else is supposed to be walking off the job and going on strike? Who? You. What? Women. You heard of the 4B movement? No. What is the 4B movement? It originated in the country of South Korea, where the women there said, we are not going to take this misogyny anymore. They're not going to marry men. They are not going to have children. They are not going to have sex or date men. And they're going to break all ties
These women are, look at that, man. Let's fast forward it a little bit, but let's go on to we don't care, but remember, whatever the white woman does, the black woman follows. Same with the black man, but especially our women. All right, now let's forward it a bit. Listen to these bitches, man.
Outreach for the 4B movement. Today I want to get into the expansion of the 4B movement into the 5B movement, the 6B movement, the Chinese iteration of the 6B4T or 10BT movement, the 7B movement, the 8B movement, and the 8B4T movement. I am now actively announcing it out loud. I am a part of the 4B movement, okay, until the foreseeable future. Liberation language. While we're taking all that back, can we also be menaces?
Oh my gosh.
I think it's time for us to be menaces. We've been so kind and patient with everybody. We have been so giving and nurturing to everybody.
Wow.
I think it's time to be menaces. We have epigenetic resistance encoded in our DNA. Let's call some hell. We have the power to make morons go extinct like dinosaurs. The morons here are just creating mediocrity. They are creating harm to Mother Earth and disrespecting the planet. And they are cancer to the planet. We don't need that, okay? We can live without mediocrity. We can live without the morons, okay? And if you're continuing to procreate with morons, you're just making little morons. We don't need that sugarfoot. Y'all acting like pregnancy is not a high risk as a woman, especially a black woman. And you out here going half on a baby with the moron. The fifth expansion is a principle called no chat bar. No chat bar basically means that we are just not talking to men. And that
See, now all of this stuff is an agenda. They want to get rid of us anyway. And you know what they do? They pay dumb, stupid black women, all right, to push this stuff, all right. But really, it has a demonic and sinister agenda, which is to get rid of us. And don't worry, as soon as the white man has used them, he'll get rid of them as well. All right, but really, the Lord will get rid of them. And this all goes back to an ancient deity, which is involved in all this madness, man. All right, let's keep going.
even males who are supportive of the 4B movement. Not everyone is about it. And to be honest, I did not know who was going to win the election. I tried to pull some tarot cards to see,
tarot
what
cards.
Spirit would let me know. But even I had no idea. I honestly thought that Kamala Harris may win. But, I still have the message that, hey, this is still the time of Lilith. I know a lot of people feel, disempowered or a little like, no hope, going forward. But, everything is still at play, right? You still need to be...
You see, the rise of the divine feminine energy through Lilith. All right, now let me take you to know what Lilith is. This is a demonic. This is a demonic bullshit deity. That was a Mesopotamian deity, and probably I can't say fully because when they say Jewish folklore, all right, they always say Jewish folklore when it comes to our history, because remember, they are pretending, those gutter rats are pretending that they're us, all right? They are not us, okay? So it could have been Israelites that were involved in this madness, but I've looked on Britannica, all right? Encyclopedia, it says Lilith, a female demonic figure in Jewish folklore. Her name and her personality are thought to be derived from a class of Mesopotamian demons called Lilu, all right, feminine Lilitu, and the name is usually translated as night monster. Oh gosh. A cult associated with Lilith survived among the Jews as the late 7th century. So this is probably our people that did this bullshit, you know, and worship this stuff. And as you can see in that video, those are, a lot of them are Israelite women. Okay? You know, talking about, I use cards and, you know, feminine energy. I bet that black bitch said that Kamala Harris was going to win. You know, and her, she probably did some tarot card business and said Kamala Harris is going to win. All right? But it didn't. But she still believes in this madness. It's incredible. All right? The evil she threatened, especially against children and women in childbirth. Women in childbirth. Now you see why they're pushing this shit, man? All right? Because they want the black woman not to reprocreate so there'll be less Israelites. This is a scam, man. All right? Was and said to be counteracted by wearing of an amulet, an amulet bearing the names of certain angels. Oh, this is madness, man. All right? Let's go on. Let's continue. In rabbinic literature, Lilith is variously depicted as the mother of Adam in the Bible, demonic offspring, following the separation from Eve, or his first wife. Oh, this is madness, man. Alright, see? And the sad thing is, they're entertaining it, man. Alright? And these things can spread more easily because of social media. And look who's involved in it. See, that's why, don't look at these women, man, and think, oh, you know, you're missing out on anything. All right? You brothers that are in this truth, these women are demonic, man. All right? They have demonic spirits on them. Believe me, man. All right? And if you're not rooted and grounded in this truth, I've seen it. I've seen many of the men in this truth be taken out of this truth easily, man. All right, let's continue this madness, man.
Focusing on raising your vibration and healing the feminine energy within you, right? Making right with that Lilith energy.
And she said about feminine energy and stuff. I bet she still gets fucked by a man. She's got a fuck buddy. They're a bunch of hypocrites, man.
Now, the eighth B expansion is no compromise with men. As part of the larger cosmic shift, we are definitely witnessing the return of Lilith as well as Medusa.
Familiar with the story of Adam and Eve, a lesser-known thread in medieval Jewish folklore popularized the idea that Eve was not Adam's first wife, but rather he was initially paired with a demonic figure named Lilith. But who exactly was Lilith? Traces of the character Lilith stretch as far back as 4,000 years ago in ancient Mesopotamian demonology. The name Lilith itself probably derives from the Sumerian word Lil, most often translated as wind or spirit. So how do we go from ancient Mesopotamian demonology to Lilith as we know her today in ancient Jewish mythology? The story of Lilith as Adam's first wife actually has no basis in the Hebrew Bible. The word Lilith does appear in the Hebrew Bible, but only once. A single mention in Isaiah chapter 34. In this chapter, the God of Israel wreaks vengeance on the neighboring kingdom of Edom, turning it into a wasteland. Verse 14 paints a picture of the devastation, a desolate land inhabited only by wild animals and demonic creatures.
And that's and that is going to be America's downfall. All right, when it talks about oh man. Oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man. Alright. Okay. When it goes to Isaiah 34, it's talking about the downfall of the Edomites and their kingdom, which is America. Alright. Okay. Talking about anything else? No, and when America is a wasteland, there's not going to be, there's only going to be certain creatures that are going to inhabit it. Alright, if you look at Isaiah 34 and 5, for my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Alright, and what is the Lord's sword? Those nuclear missiles and also the lasers from the chariots. Alright, behold, it shall come down on Idumea. And who's Idumea? Edomites. That's the Greek way of saying Edom. Alright, and upon the people of my curse to to judgment. So he's partly right, all right? He's partly right, okay? He's partly right, because that judgment is going to be on so-called white man's pearl kingdom, which is America. All right, so that's what that chapter is actually talking about. So this rubbish of Lilith, see, and this is the reason why the Lord put us in slavery. He couldn't tolerate this madness anymore. That our people were making up these mythologies, you know. I mean, you know, in the Bible it tells you our people were burning their own children to Molech, and then now you see the people in the music and the entertainment industry, you know, doing witchcraft and all that kind of stuff. All right, you can clearly see that our people, all right, and they're not our people, have not learned their lesson, man. All right, and hey, listen, we say Brakati Hawa Basim Yaosai for putting the spirit on these Israelites, bringing out this information. We have to be thankful for it, you know, but they've not got. They're not saying the name of Yahweh and his son Yahushai. That's a damn shame. But, hey, I digress.
Wildcats shall meet with hyenas. Goat demons shall call to each other. There also Lilith shall repose and find a place to rest. Some scholars argue that the word Lilith here is not the proper name of a specific demon, but like the Lily-2 of ancient Mesopotamia, refers to a type or class of demon, and thus should be translated as the Lilith, lowercase l. The NIV translates the word as night creatures, the ESV nightbird, and the KJV as screech owl. So throughout the Bronze and Iron Ages, we get glimpses of a type of child-killing, anti-fertility, anti-maternal female demon, sometimes conceptualized as a singular entity like Lamashtu. This figure finds its way into the demonology of Second Temple Judaism. For example, Lilith specifically and Liliths generically appear in the Dead Sea Scrolls.
The most popular story of Lilith comes from a medieval rabbinical text called the Alphabet of Ben Sirah. In this story, Lilith is the first...
Oh, this is boring, man. I'm not gonna...
figure, dangerous specifically to women. But here in the 21st century, we're witnessing an ironic twist in her narrative.
Lilith has taken on a new role. She's become the dark feminist, the embodied, powerful, liberated, unapologetic woman.
See, so when you see these agendas, all right, in society of raising women above men and all this stuff, all right, these are strategies by the Satanists, man. All right, okay, they're pushing this out, okay, and remember what the scriptures have told us, all right. We go to Ephesians 6 and 10, all right, and it says the armor of the Most High. That's the subheading, Ephesians 6 and 10. Finally, my brethren, all right, my brethren, man, okay, talking about the brothers that are in his truth, and a few sisters, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might, all right, verse 11, put on the whole armor of the Most High, all right, that ye may be able to stand the wiles, to stand against the wiles of the devil. And that's one of the wiles of the devil, all right? This madness of Lilith, man, all right? Let's look up the word wiles, all right, for extra edification. You know, like when I saw this, I just, you know, I just seemed like, but you know what this shows you? It shows you that we have to be on our grind, man. All right? I'm not being well and stuff like that. There's a nigger upstairs. And he's a nigger, man. All right? He's a nigger, man. I could tell that this guy's a nigger. And he's moving in. He's making a hell of a lot of noise upstairs. You know? He's got his mates up there. And you know, but he's moving in. So he's moving in and he's... You know, all I hear is boom, bang, bing, bang, bing, bang, boss. You know, my neighbor's like, well, you know, he's moving his washing machine and this, that, and the other. But this guy's a nigger, you know. And the last thing I need is aggro. I need peace, especially because of my illness. But when I came upon this information, you know, And I had to do a video anyway. I was going to do a video anyway. When the Lord brought this information to me, I had to be brought out because it's one of the wiles of the devil. All right. Now look up the word wiles. Okay. Now remember, it's Greek because it's New Testament.
Strong's G 3180.
Yep. Methodia. So wiles means in Greek is methodia, which means cunning arts. See, cunning arts. All right. And you're going to see some of that cunning arts more in this video presentation that they done. Deceit. And you stupid bitches are being deceived. Craft. Trickery. And that's what that is. Because it's all about what? Alright. Making the black woman not want to reappropriate. Because they have an agenda to get rid of us. Alright. And don't tell me they don't have an agenda. Alright. Let's look up that woman, Margaret Sanger. Is it? Yeah, Sanger, that bitch. See, look, Margaret Sanger, birth control. See, look, Margaret Sanger was pioneering birth control activist, sex educator, all right, writer and nurse who founded the birth control movement in the United States. All right. And this woman hated blacks. She hated blacks. And look at her book. Look. Serpent imagery. Alright. Alright. And she hated blacks. Alright. Margaret Sanger. Okay, Margaret Sanger. Let's see what she said. All right. She said one message here. All right. If you can see, this is Margaret Sanger's message. We don't want the word to go out that we want to exterminate the Negro population. There you go. Margaret Sanger. All right. And there is documentaries on this, you know. See, look, people were trying to fight this. Sterilization of mothers violates UN Charter. See, there's some of our women are clued up, you know. Okay, and she's the one that did Planned Parenthood, you know. And I remember, you know, years ago, there were videos about all of this, and they took it off. So it's clear what the agenda is, all right? And this Lilith thing is a demonic figure. Now let's see a woman that's got some kind of sense, all right?
That further connects it to the feminist women's rights movement and kind of the energy behind feminism. Also, if you study her, you will find out that she was labeled as a demon who used to unalive children. So that further connects it to the feminist women's rights movement. Lilith is a very dark energy. She's a demoness, so she resides in the dark side of the woman.
Yeah.
She is meant to enact vengeance on men. It is dire out here. The young ladies are out here angry at men and wanting to take all men out, and I'm here to tell you that Lilith energy is nothing to play with. It will destroy you.
Yeah.
It will destroy the man, but it will destroy you too.
There you go. See, it's a demonic energy, man. All right, it's a demonic energy, man. All right, it's a cunning arts, deceit, craft, trickery. That's what that is, man. All right. Okay, so let's continue here. Ephesians 6 and 11. I'll read it again. Put on the whole armor of the Most High, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. They ain't got no armor, so that's why they're falling for it, and they're gonna perish. If the Lord, it's only the Lord that can. It's the Lord that puts that spirit on these dumb bitches to do this. It's only Him that can do it. I could sit them down and read 20 scriptures. If the Lord doesn't want them to wake up, they won't. And therefore they'll be destroyed. Alright? Okay? Verse 12. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities. And a principality is a leader of a legion of demons. Alright? Demons in the satanic hierarchy, there's a hierarchy, man. Principality, man, is a leader of a legion of demons, man. Alright? So we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, alright, against the rulers of the darkness of this world. And who's in charge of the world? The so-called white man is. He's the dark energy of this world. Alright, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Okay? So this is spiritual wickedness in high places. Alright? Alright, verse 13. Wherefore, take unto you the whole armor of the Most High, that ye may be able to stand against stand in the evil day, and having done all to stand. Alright, and that's what we want to do, man. You know, we have a protection. If you're a few sisters that are in this truth, you know, or a sister like this, she's got a chance, man. Because she's exposing the wiles of the devil. She's not promoting it. Motherfuckers, man.
So, please.
Wow, I didn't get the memo. Well, I'm not crazy about Trump either, but I'm not about to shave my head for Kamala. Last time that I checked, she still had a husband and a full head of hair.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm proud of you, Eva. You didn't drink the Kool-Aid. You keep talking like that, I might just take you out the friend zone and give you a
across all of New York. Well, just days later,
listen to this here.
Remember when they were promoting the video game Diablo 4 and they put up those giant billboards of Lilith around the city, and then the sky turned red and the sun was blotted out?
Blizzard's marketing escapades are in full swing, but this time things may have gone a little too far. That's because they put up massive billboards featuring the demonic Lilith across all of New York. Well, just days later, the sky turned red and the air turned toxic, with the posters ominously reading, "Welcome to Hell, New York."
Yeah.
There you go. So that's the demonic deity Lilith, and it's in a computer game, man.
I remember that. They said it was smoke from the wildfires in
Alright.
Canada.
Well, it's
And if you remember, Angelina Jolie, she had a movie. I can't remember. What was it called? She had a movie. It had this demonic. I can't remember. That's it. Yeah. Mistress of Evil. That's it. Mistress of Evil. That's it. There you go. Boom. See? They know what they're doing, man. Oh, man. You know? See? That's what she was. And I guarantee you they channeled that demon in her so she could play that part well. You know? Who is this? It's the same deity. Look at the horns. You know? And I didn't even plan to bring this out. You know? You plan a lesson, you write certain scriptures, but then things just popped your head. And you know what that is? That's just the Holy Spirit. That's not me. That's Yahweh Shimei Shai. That's the deity, man. Alright? So it's a serious thing that we're involved in, man. That's why we have to be, there's times to be compassionate and empathetic, and there's times that you need to be hard on the brotherhood, etc. Because you know what? We're dealing with this wickedness, man. Alright? The last video I did was about being complacent, man. If you could be complacent, man, I'm telling you, you might meet one of these bitches, man, and these bitches might turn you out. And turn you out the truth.